we can keep talking about what could dent market sentiment. 9:15, I think markets should have opened up by now. Let's have a look. Markets open. How's it opening, Ajay? Deepan?
500 points up on the Sensex and up 136 points on Nifty, nearly 350 points on the Bank Nifty. A very good, strong open and up.
What does it tell you?
Expectations are high. Positions are being taken in advance of what's going to be rolled out. Expectations are high and up.
Sensex up almost 1% at the start, 555, 568. Jumping up. Deepan, market is optimistic, but for this bull run to continue, all the government has to do is to ensure that there are no drastic announcements in the negative. When it opens like this, that's all you think. What do you say?
Absolutely. I think we still have the memory of the last budget, and that was a good one, and markets rallied after that budget because there were no fresh taxation and we were expecting some amount of tax levy because of COVID, but nothing came through. And I think this time around we're expecting some sort of a concession. So I think it's a great start for the market, and hopefully we should be able to build on it.
Okay. What could dent the sentiment? What could dent the sentiment?
Higher taxes, I think that's clearly, that's one thing which market is just not factoring or expecting. There's a temptation to, change the long-term capital gains period from 1 year to 3 years. That would not be received well. There's a temptation to increase the short-term capital gains like from 15% to 30% and tax it in line with personal taxation rate. That will not be well received.
Yeah.
And any tinkering with dividend tax, of course, will not go down well.
Yeah. Nirmala Sitharaman really has to walk a tightrope today. Ashish, I see a hand go up. She has to walk a tightrope because spending this time around, there could be a significant amount of spending. It could trigger a reverse negative response given concerns over the fiscal deficit. So will the budget provide a Goldilocks solution on spending? Ashish?
So I think the market is really not expecting much from this budget in terms of, the taxes going up. If the taxes are kind of left untouched, be it direct, indirect taxes, or there were some apprehensions in some sections that, there could be some tinkering with the wealth tax. So all these things are the apprehensions. But I think if it is left untouched, I think the markets will receive it very positively.
What about the divestment
data
target?
point that I want to leave behind is...
What about the divestment target? Divestment target,
yes.
what, 1.75 trillion rupees. Only a minuscule portion of the target was actually met. So should the divestment numbers for the coming year be disappointing? Would it impact the market
only
sentiment?
5% of... So only 5% of it was met, and we're kind of hopeful that in the month of March you would see the LIC IPO go through. If it does go through, you'll have close to about 90,000 crores or close to about $12 billion come inside. Even if it does not get met this year, there is decent amount of close to about 1 lakh crore of cash with the government. So to that extent, fiscal will be managed. But next year, there will be a spillover impact. Yes, divestment has been a disappointment. But I think as we look at FY23, there will be a spillover effect of the preparations that were done for various divestments or privatization that could not happen in the previous year.
Yeah.
One point I want to mention, Arnab, is that the markets have in the last 5 years received the budgets very positively. Just look at what has happened. If the index on January 31, 2017 was 8571. Today, as we speak, it is 17,750. A CAGR of close to about 15-16%. Very clearly, the market has appreciated these long-term initiatives that the government has taken.
Absolutely.